Hello everyone, Espurr here. Now, what do we have here? We have a game on Rainmaker Mako where we're watching the E-Leader. Now, I should say this game came from a scrim, which is the second scrim that's been on this channel. So that's going to be interesting. So because it's a scrim, I will be holding this E-Leader on two standards. I will be judging them based on two things. Their personal gameplay, which is what I pretty much always judge everyone on, and how well they bounce that off their teams, how well they communicate, how well they organize, all that stuff, how well their teamwork. So, without further ado, let's go. Okay. So starting off on the right, or up here. Forgot about the wall, okay. No point in painting that, but whatever. You look over here. Yep, good. I think you could push up here. There's no reason to be doing this. Hold on. So you're down here. You see the charges over there. The rest of my team is already diving on that charger. If you were to get out of this wall and try to look for an angle, all the angles that you would have were completely useless. You wouldn't have any other angle that your teammates wouldn't have. So you need to push up. I'd recommend being on left stack. Yeah, if you're on left stack here, you'd be able to snipe that roller that just killed your teammates. I don't know about the charger. I don't know where they were. Actually, no, I do know. I think you could have dealt with the charger if you wanted to left stack immediately. Because after all, you had like 3 people there. They would have at the very least distracted the charger. If you can get onto left stack, you at least have an angle on them. Basically, you're too far back. You see rollers diving you, so you run away. Jump out, please. There you go. Let's see. You're going to go to the right. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend taking this kind of path. So I know that your mind was like, okay, they're going to the right. I need to set up on the right. Here's the thing, though. By the time you get to the right, like to the right goal through this path, they're already going to be on your plat. I think that's what it's called. So you shouldn't be going to your plat because then you'd be right in front of the enemy. Instead, you want to be going right up to that pillow over there. The pillow being the pink thing in the distance. Because there you actually have some kind of distance between you and the enemy. Yeah, we see that here. The roller, or not roller. Actually, yeah, well, someone kind of just... Rainmaker's already there. I don't like this angle. You can very easily get dived, and it's kind of proven that the enemy does like diving, but they weren't there, I guess. So, it's okay. Yeah. I don't know how they didn't die immediately, but... Oh, that's scary. Okay, well... Y'all handle it. That guy is way too far up. And you are too far back, to be honest. I would have been... Hold on. Okay. Admittedly, your teammate there is too far up. But, despite that, you have a lot of range. So I would have been on that little box in front of you. And tried to, at the very least, try to jump shot that charger. If I miss, that's probably all I can do. If I hit, that's cool. And I help him out. Yeah, you don't need to worry about Rainmaker. Your teammate has it. Yeah, your teammate isn't at risk of dying, whereas Lizzie over there is at risk of dying. The pro. I mean, okay, so your job right now is just to hold. Your teammates are dead. You want to wait for respawns. Lizzie's being a bit aggressive. I wouldn't suggest that. You also aren't really at a good position to really help out Lizzie with your angle. You are at a good position to help out with Lizzie, but you're not giving yourself that good angle. There are 2 ways to think of charger, but they ultimately have the same effect. One where you are protecting your teammates, and oh, I want to make sure you don't die. I'm gonna protect the people who are around, protect you by killing whoever's around you. And the other is where you use your teammates as bait, which is I'm going to wait for you to take a fight, and then I'm going to shoot the people that are shooting you, because now they're not shooting at me or like looking at me. Good thing though. You just notice the guy on the left. You tell your teammates. The crab does not turn around. I don't know if you told the crab to turn around. I probably would have. But, whatever. Someone's behind you. Someone's behind you. Yeah, I heard. Okay. I want to see if you heard the shooting noise. Yeah, I'm hearing the shooting noise. I didn't see that. That little, like, if you look to the right, you can see a player. But I didn't see that in the game, so I'm going to assume you didn't. I don't think you did. You might have heard the shooting, but you might have assumed that it was either didn't hear it or assumed it was someone else. But this kind of, hearing this is really important. And if you can't identify where the source of a noise is coming from, you really need to turn around or look around and make sure you can identify it. Anyways, you go up. Probably should pop that wave breaker. Yes, you do. Good job. You back up a little bit. I don't think it was necessary, but yeah, you would have gotten dropped if you didn't, so that would have been a mistake on my part. Anyways, yeah, I don't really like that. Ow. Yeah, I don't think the angle over on the far right is very good, or where you were. I think being on the stacks is where you want to be. Every backline wants to be on the stacks. And in case anyone, no one knows, the stack is currently where the crab is right now. This is the stack. Elite is on the stack right now. There you go. Good job. They popped that. Okay. Good. You saw it. I like how you hid. It doesn't really matter if you die here. Yeah. You distracted the charger. They weren't shooting at your Rainmaker. That was a worthy trade. There is no reason to set up here. You're not guarding anything important, in my opinion. No, not in my opinion. This is factually correct. You're not guarding anything important. You're guarding the right. You're not even guarding the right all too well. You want to, and you're not even. Don't even have a gray. You have a. Okay, you're able to look at your team, but right is kind of open. You're not really guarding that. Your teammates weren't. Anyways, good tap shot, or good partial. You want to push up to right stack, but I don't think your teammates are really covering the right stack all too well. But they killed the enemies, so it's fine. You're up here, and that's fine. Yep, good. All you need to do is just get your wave breaker, and you guys should be able to push forward. But I don't think you realize you just need your wave breaker. Yeah, your specials are very important, and you should be trying to keep track of when you have your special. Because your special is what allows you to break stalemates. Like, let's look back and see what a well-placed wave breaker would have done. So, good position. Tap shot them. Notice, hey, wave breaker is almost online. Let me try to frantically paint for that. Wow. Yeah, but you're on the hunt. I'd say about here is when you would have been able to get a wave breaker if you were to be trying to paint for it. Let's see. With that, you'd pop it on that wall. It would be active right about now. And then from there, I think that would basically mean that it would hamper the enemy's push, make it more likely for them to die. That the Rainmaker still would have died. But at the very least, I think it would have been much more likely for you guys to win this fight. Or at least hold. Certainly, I think you could have gotten your wave breaker much sooner than what I suggested. But if you weren't keeping track of your specials, then that might have been when you realized. Anyways, yeah, you realize this place isn't safe. You back up. That pro is way too deep. I don't know why they do that. They probably thought you'd be with them. Yeah, okay, they might have thought that you were with them. So you should have told your pro if you didn't. If you didn't, then he should have told your pro that I'm backing up, so that they know that now they're alone. Or you can say, I'm backing up, you're going to be alone. But at the very least, all you really do need to say is just, I'm backing up. There's no way you can stop the pop, so I just let it happen. That was really risky, to be honest. Let me assess if that was actually the right play. I feel like let me think. So it's at there, 82 or 28. No, not 28. Yeah, 28. 28 would be about the ramp. Yeah, I think you might have put yourself in unnecessary danger. Like, it would have been really cool if you got that. But that was kind of unnecessary. In fact, I think you could have been a bit further back. But... yeah, I mean, you guys got it. It's well done. But it's very important to have a good balance between fishing for kills and... what is it? What is it called? Not dying, basically. Not taking unnecessary risks. No. Because once you die, your team kind of loses one of their core players. Oh, wait, right. Now this is another scrim. I think the previous one was a pickup scrim. This is your normal team, if I'm correct. Anyways, you go to the left here. I wouldn't recommend this spot, actually. So, I used to think this was a good spot, but now I think this is actually a terrible spot. Because we'll look up here and see what angle you have. You will have a very bad angle on the right side. You have a very bad angle on the left, but you have a good angle on mid. But people aren't going to let themselves get caught by mid, and they can very easily just fight on the right side, and you can't do anything. So what I would instead recommend is you see that pillar over to your right. I'd recommend hanging out around there, because there you can have sight lines on both sides. Whereas here you only have a realistic sight line on mid and kinda left. And they can ignore you by just fighting on the right. Anyways. They're pushing. Okay, good. Yeah. Let me see. Could we have seen that blaster? They weren't wearing Ninja Squid, so we might have been able to. I do think that this is fair. Yeah, okay, that blast is right. Your roller should have gotten them, but they didn't. And the roller kind of just fed. In my opinion, the roller didn't need to do that. All they needed to do was just stay around the ramp, or make sure the enemy can't pass through ramp. Diving in was just unnecessary. And now, let's... Good. Okay, stop it. You're trying to go for pop? Or I'd rather make sure they can't get it. You're panicking right now. Yeah, that was pure panic. I won't deny that wasn't a panic moment. That was a panic moment. I probably would have done that. That wouldn't be... To be clear, that is the wrong move. But I would have done the same because of panic. So like, I can understand why you did it. Yeah, I can understand why you did it. So I'm not going to comment too much about it. Your teammate resets, that's good. You know there's someone on the right. Your roller seems to be trying to fight that. Someone on your left, so I hope you call it out. I don't think you need to... You knew that there was a... Hold on. I saw a moment for team play that you did not take. So your, I think that's a dually right there. Your dually is close by to the what's it called? blaster. Here's what I would have done. So I know that blasters have a weakness of fighting up close. Now, I know that here, I'm going to have the ambush. I have like the quote-unquote first strike. So instead of backing up and charging my shot, because I'm confident enough in my tap shots, I would go in and try to tap shot that blaster, and I would have told my dually to come in to fight the blaster. Because look, you're flanking them right now. You can pincer them. Take them out. It frees you both. Now you can go and help the, your shot. Because here, the yeah, that was a fair jump out, but you didn't have to do that. You did have to do that in that moment, but, you know, you could have done the thing that I suggested, but you just didn't really think of that, and that's fair. Most people tell you to, like, back off in that sort of situation, but I think you could have pulled something. I would have pulled something. Anyways, you're moving over to the right. You got antsy. The wave breaker needs to happen now. Yeah. Oof, okay. Yeah, you didn't realize that the ink vac would do that. And they have respawn punish? I mean, I guess that's okay, but if I was them, I'd be running special charge, but alright, fine. You just need another partial. You're dying a lot. Why is that? I think the reason why is because the enemy isn't... So, the enemy's doing a lot of things to make sure they can get past your range. It's also a fact of this map. This map has a lot of places where a charger... If you aren't in the right places for a charger, it'll be very easy for just something to happen to you. Just because, like, you couldn't watch, like, the right side. Basically, in simpler words, it's very easy to flank. To get flanked, I mean. You're very low in ink. I very much think you could have gone forward a bit more. Like, this entire sort of ordeal. Let's see. So, I understand why you didn't drop. But I really do think you could have went forward a bit more. It's like they're not expecting you to go out of this place. And if you were to go up, you'd push them even further out. I don't think you realize that when you're an E-leader, what you can do is you can progressively make the enemy back up further and further just because of your immense range. Like, they have nothing that outranges you, except for maybe a Trizuka, yeah. Except for a Zuka. But it is online, so you would want to be wary of that. But I think you still could push up and not die to the Trizuka by playing around that little pillar. The only issue is I would want someone to be on the left, or I want a bit more help on the left. So I might have... What I might do is I jump forward, jump shot the two people over on mid. If I hit one, cool. If I don't, alright. And then I give paint to my roller, because they need paint desperately. Yeah, I'm looking at your comp. There's not too much paint for your roller. Okay, there is paint, but it's not enough for the roller to work with. Like, their comp massively outpaints your comp right now. Or not massively, but it does outpaint your comp. So I would recommend the shot kind of needs to realize that they need to be painting for their team. Because certainly the dualies isn't going to do it. Your weapon's too slow to do it. Or it doesn't paint often enough. You need to pop your special. Also, there's a blast behind you. Yeah, so the blaster came around because you weren't able to watch the left side. You know, because you can't watch both sides. But you can try. And then you died because bad movement. Or not bad movement, but unfortunate movement, I guess. Let's see. You know the blast is over there. You know someone's over here. You're kind of revealing your laser, immediately telling them where you are, losing all your surprise. You know... Yeah. I think dropping was kind of a half accident. Half, I want to get a better angle. Yeah. Alright, let's see what you can do. I don't think you guys are going to have this, though. There's no way. Yeah, okay. Two things. So, in terms of personal play, what I saw from this game was you weren't pushing up as much as you could have. I don't think you realized where you can exactly poke and what, like, sort of... There are situations where you aren't being as helpful as you could be because you just aren't pushing up as far as you can. Which means that there are situations where you just aren't really helping, even though you are alive. With chargers, you constantly want to be testing the waters and see, okay, how far can I go up? And it doesn't hurt because you're unscoped. Because you're unscoped, you have the ability to do like hold up a shot, go up to like the midline or even the front line if you want, and then shoot a shot and then go back immediately. And that just threatens a kill. It makes them always on their toes. So, as well, I don't think you played Undertow as a map all too well. And I don't think your team comp was... I don't think the shot realized what they have to do. Let me go into the transition and see how much paint the shot had. Or like how much paint everyone had. Because the shot was the best painting weapon. Yeah, okay, so there was a serious problem in terms of paint. The roller painted more than the Glugas. Granted, I don't think Glugas was a good idea on that comp. The reason being because you already have a paint-hungry weapon, or a weapon that needs like help painting, which the roller. And that means, and you have Gluga, which doesn't really contribute to paint all too much. In fact, I think it might be paint hungry itself. Or paint needy, I'll call it. Paint needy. So you don't want to have two kinds of those weapons, especially if you have a charger. Because a charger isn't going to contribute all too much in paint. They're like paint neutral, in my opinion. So the only paint positive weapon you have is the shot. And they only got 200 more paint than the roller. Which isn't, in the grand scheme of things, as much as they should have gotten. That shot should have been completely on painting duty, and I don't think they realized that. More importantly, though, the dualies shouldn't have been playing Glugas. They should have been playing Slat dualies. Or dualie squelchers, or anything like that. But, in terms of what you can do, I think it would be a very good idea to make sure... Two things. You want to go into Recon. Let me just do that for you. Or not for you, but like go into Recon here. You want to go into Recon and see, alright, what places work well for me as an E-leader on Undertow? Because you are going to have to play Undertow. So you are going to have to like do all that stuff and like play this again and be like, oh, I don't know where to actually go. So in different states of the game, there are 5 different states of the game. I'm just going to go Rainmaker. I recommend doing this for all game modes of Undertow. It'd be ideal to do it with your team, but if you can't, then just do it on your own. There are 5 different game states of the game. There's neutral, advantage, disadvantage, and the 2 lockouts. Like your lockout and their lockout. Your lockout being you're basically spawn camping the enemy team, and their lockout being their spawn camping you. Now, I'll show you what I would do for my lock. I'll show you my thought process for this game. So I'm gonna go back to spawn. It is their lockout. Where do I go? I think so. If there's someone around their lockout would kind of mean there'd be someone around here. So how would I be able to deal with that? Well, the big answer would actually just be to paint. You can't really deal with it all too well. without getting exposed because you're a, you don't have a bomb, you just have a mine. So you kind of would have to get this so that you can make an entry point for your team. That would have to be your plan. So yeah, you're clearing your base, and then from there it gives you a platform for your teammates to drop, and you can also be up here and like shoot people and all that stuff. Now for disadvantage, I would say this is pretty okay. Like you can watch this side pretty well. You can look at that. This side isn't very great, but I can still watch it somewhat. Let's see, if need be, if let's say a roller was down over on the right side and they need paint, I'd be over here and trying to get paint supports my roller. Granted, E-leader isn't what I'd want as paint support as a roller, but if that's all I can get, that's all I can get. Now, if it's neutral, I'd like to be over here so that I can do this. Someone here, die. Are you here? No. Do I want to pop the Rainmaker? Okay. Advantage? Let's see. I'd want to be pretty much right here. I'd be able to deny this spot, and I'd be able to deny all this, allowing my team to push either or. They tend to you tend to want to push here. For first check, I think you do. Actually, you might want to push. I don't know, but whichever your team wants, you can help with both. You just got to make sure this side is clear. Or at least, yeah, you got to make sure this side is clear if you want to be here. So for, let's see, advantage, if your team goes here, this side's pretty good. And if you want to stay here for lockout, you can. There's double duty. This is assuming your teammates push right. And it's really quick to get there. If your teammates go left, let's see. I think you could probably just do this. Yeah. And if you know there's going to be respawns, die. Yeah, you can defend yourself pretty easily. If you don't like this though, you can be over here. Yeah. Though these are vulnerabilities. Because if the Rainmaker is like just up here and you can't really push out, the enemy team might be over here or like over here. No, they wouldn't be over here because you can snipe them. They'd be over here, but more likely throwing bombs here if they're playing well. Let's say for lockout. Now that is a hard question. This isn't a very good spot for an E-leader for lockout. Let me see. Let me look around. Where do I have a good angle? This is pretty bad. I mean, it's a good angle, but I doubt I'm going to actually have this clear. That would be like this high. I don't think it'd actually be any good. I'd kind of be forced to go here, to be honest. Or at least here I can paint this little pedestal. But yeah, now that you know my thought process for figuring out like positionings and all that stuff, I want you to go into the other 3 modes for Undertow and any other map that you're like, I don't know where to place myself, and go through this same thought process. As for your team comps and all that stuff, yeah, you really need to make sure that the roller has enough paint. Glugas doesn't paint enough to help out a roller. You don't paint enough to help out with a roller, or paint often enough. E-leader does have a lot of paint, but it's just not, it doesn't happen quickly. It takes a while. And the shot is, good, but the shot clearly didn't know that they had to paint for the roller. So, that's it for today. See y'all.